It's the Sick Podcast. Marinaro disappointed. Like all Montreal Canadiens fans, the Canadiens in their first Stanley Cup final in 28 years. And guess what? The dream is over, at least for this year. The Montreal Canadiens lose by a score of 1-0 in Tampa to the Tampa Bay Lightning, who for a second year in a row win the Stanley Cup. It's the Sick Podcast. The show's brought to you by Essentia, the world's only natural memory foam mattress. Go to myessentia.com/sickpod and use code sickpod for a free pillow with your purchase. Essentia, beyond organic sleep. And the Tampa Bay Lightning put the Montreal Canadiens to sleep. The Canadiens mounted very little offense in this game, only 22 shots on goal, very little scoring chances, really, in terms of prime scoring chances. A bunch of players who were not really effective. Corey Perry didn't have a shot on goal in the hockey game. Phil Deneau didn't have a shot on goal in the hockey game. Paul Byron didn't have a shot on goal in the hockey game. Brendan Gallagher only had one shot on goal in the hockey game. And it wasn't good enough. And the Montreal Canadiens, and I get it, okay, I get it. They couldn't expect to win, or they didn't think they would win a high-scoring hockey game versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. So they decided to make it a very, very tight game, a very low-scoring game. The Lightning played the same type of game the way they played versus the New York Islanders in Game 7, where the Lightning had above 30 shots, the Islanders had under 20 shots. The Canadiens were just above in this case, and the Lightning won by a score of 1-0. Vasilevsky picks up a shutout, and Vasilevsky picked up another shutout tonight, winning, by the way, the Conn Smythe Trophy as the playoff MVP. In 3 games, 3 out of the 5 games in the final, Vasilevsky only gave up 1 goal or less. And, you're not going to win hockey games like that. You're just not. And, having said that, I can come on here and I can criticize, the Canadiens for this, that, or whatever. I could even say that, yeah, maybe a couple of hockey games were close, that the Canadiens lost in terms of score. But for me, anyway, the series was never really close. I wouldn't call it a no contest because the Canadiens pushed Tampa, and it's a very fine line, a very thin line between winning and losing. But, it really never was in doubt, to tell you the truth. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they're not Stanley Cup champions by fluke. And Pierre LeBrun tweeted this out shortly after the game. Since that season of picking up 62 wins in the regular season and then getting swept in the playoffs by Columbus, since then, the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have won 2 cups in 2 years, have never trailed in a series, in 8 series, for last year, for this year, and never lost back-to-back games. I mean, if that doesn't begin to tell you how good and how dominant Tampa Bay is, but man, I mean, what a team. With Vasilevsky in goal, you take a look at their defense with Hedman, Ruda, McDonough, Cernak, Savard, Sergachev. You take a look at their 4 lines. You take a look at them down the middle with Braden Point and Cirelli and Yanni Gourde. You take a look at their wingers like Kucherov and Stamkos and Palat and Killorn and company. You take a look at their role players like Barclay Goodrow and Blake Coleman, and just too strong, just way too deep, just way, way too good. If there's one thing that upset me in this hockey game tonight, I thought was the inconsistent refereeing. I thought it was bad, like it has been throughout the entire playoffs. At one point, there was a sequence of about 5 minutes where Tampa Bay, I thought, could have been penalized on 3 occasions. They didn't even receive 1 penalty. But other than that, I got to tell you, I saw Brendan Gallagher in the post-game presser, and it hurt me. A shout-out to Excellent Photos, centrally located close to downtown shopping and universities in Montreal. They ship to all of Canada, professional staff at the store and online to help you choose the gear you really need. ExcellentPhoto.ca. And that picture of Gallagher at the podium with Deneau next to him, asked about how special this team is, fighting back tears. He couldn't talk. And Gallagher gave everything. Unfortunately, there was not enough offense that came from Gallagher. I think he didn't score a goal in his last 14 games or whatever it was. He did a good job with Phil Deneau and whoever else they played with. It was Lekin in this series, or at times it was Jake Evans, at times it was Paul Byron, at times it was Toffoli, or tonight anyway it was with Toffoli, and there were others, Josh Anderson, Thomas Tatar, the list goes on and on. They always had like a different line mate on that line. They did their job in that respect, but clearly if the Canadians needed offense from Gallagher and they could have used some, they didn't get that. They didn't get offense from Tyler Toffoli either. Carey Price was outgoaled by Andrei Vasilevsky. Mind you, you could say that if Price is in goal for Tampa and Vasilevsky is in goal for Montreal, maybe Price wins with that team, seeing as it's a better team. It's debatable, I guess, but just a tough night for Montrealers. But I'll say this, as I'll try and drink my sorrows away. Hold on a second here. A little bit of Cherry River, which became my my drink of choice. Cherry River, of course, is a hard seltzer that you can pick up at the grocery store, and you can pick up at the beer store as well. Only 90 calories, natural flavors, no preservatives, and once again, available in Quebec grocery stores. So it became my drink of choice. And yeah, I'm going to probably have a couple to forget about the Canadiens going to the Cup final and unfortunately not able to win. But I have to tell you that for the new generation of fans, I'm 48 years old. For those fans that were 26, 27 or younger, never really saw the Montreal Canadiens go all that deep. They saw them go to the conference final in 2014. They saw them go to the conference final in 2010. But for the first time since 1993 now, the Montreal Canadiens make it to the Stanley Cup final. The Canadiens gave everyone a reason to dream. And as a sports fan, that's all you can ask. Winning the Stanley Cup or winning any trophy is not easy, especially the National Hockey League, where there's over 30 teams and only one team is going to win that cup at the end of the year. It's not an easy thing to do. But the Canadiens, who were down 3-1 versus the Toronto Maple Leafs, won Game 5 in overtime, won Game 6 in overtime, and went to Toronto to win Game 7. Then they took on the Winnipeg Jets, who had swept the Edmonton Oilers, and you would have thought that Winnipeg, well rested, would have beat Montreal, and the Canadiens swept the Jets. And then they take on the Vegas Golden Knights, who along with the Colorado Avalanche finished on top of the National Hockey League with 82 points, 23 points more than the Montreal Canadiens. And Vegas wins Game 1 pretty convincingly, convincing second and third period. And a lot of people thought, that's it, Canadiens have met their match, it's over. This is not the North Division, not Vegas anyway. They beat Vegas in 6 games. And once again, 5 games is not a lot versus Tampa, but Tampa clearly is, you could almost call them a dynasty. 2 cups in this era, back-to-back, with the stats that I told you before, you can call them a dynasty, I guess. So the party is on hold, but Montrealers or Italo Montrealers will hope that the party will now be on Sunday for Italy, because Italy takes on England. We're switching gears, going to another sport in the Euro Cup final of Euro 2020. And for that, you can call sophistication if you want to have your own party. Event rentals, live music, DJs, sound systems, tents, chairs, tables, decor, lighting, photo booth, TV screens. Basically, it's your one-stop shop. 514-570-5770 is the number to call. So if you're planning your Montreal Canadiens party, now you can forget about that. Maybe your only hope is a Euro Cup party, because, of course, the Euro final is on Sunday, July 11th. But Tampa Bay just a little bit better at every position. Julian Brisebois obviously has done a real good job with Tampa Bay. We can't forget Steve Yzerman. Most seem to believe that this was Steve Yzerman's team. And when I take a look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, and drafting is not an easy thing, it really is not. It's probably the hardest thing that you can do in all of professional sports is drafting and projecting what players are going to become. But when I take a look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's not hard to draft Stamkos first or Hedman second, when you have the first and second pick. That's not a hard thing to do. but drafting Braden Point, drafting Nikita Kucherov, drafting Andre Palat, drafting Sorelli, signing Yanni Gourde, who was never drafted, signing Tyler Johnson, who was never drafted, drafting Killorn, drafting Vasilevsky, and I'm probably forgetting some here, but I mean, Al Murray is the guy who's in charge of the draft for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and there's no salary cap on what you can pay your management team, your staff, your scouts, and they clearly have a good one, probably the best one in the game. And listen to those names that I rattled off. I mean, those are premier players. I mean, Braden Point has become, I don't know, a top 5 centerman in the game. Nikita Kucherov is a top 5 player in the game. Both of them are probably top 10 in the National Hockey League, maybe even top 5, right, at this stage of their careers. Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Nathan McKinnon, and Crosby's always going to be part of the conversation, but you have to think that Point and Kucherov are right there. You know, Mitch Marner of Toronto, but Marner. Well, we saw in the playoffs is Braden Point is a big time is a big game player. It's 2 years in a row we see that. Nikita Kucherov is a big game player. Those guys are probably once again on top 5 lists. So now the big question is, and we're going to have time to actually talk about it, is does this mean that the Montreal Canadiens are close to a Stanley Cup, or will the Montreal Canadiens have to wait a long time before actually trying to get back? Because think about this. Shea Weber turns 36 in August. Carey Price turns 34 next month as well. Jeff Petrie turns 34 in the month of December. Brendan Gallagher down the stretch looked like he had very little left. Some of his shifts, he had to, make his way to the bench after 30 seconds, and he was huffing and puffing. And you have to wonder if these guys gave what they had to give, and if the rest of their careers now is going to be on somewhat of a downward trend. But we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. If you're a proud Montreal Canadiens fan, and you should be, because once again, they made us live so many great moments, or even a proud fan of the Italian national team, or even the English national team when it comes to soccer, sportbuffshop.com has beautiful hoodies. I'm telling you, go to the website for all of your officially licensed sports apparel and more. All sports, by the way, baseball, football, soccer, hockey, you name it, and other sports and more. Use code SICK15 for 15% off on all of their items, and you'll be able to pick up your hoodie of your favorite team off the website. So anyway, once again, I'm going to drink myself to sleep, I think, tonight. And what an amazing run. I had so much fun. When the Montreal Canadiens win, the fan base is happy. The city of Montreal is happy. The province of Quebec is happy. People go to restaurants. People spend money. People smile. And it becomes a really, really fun place to hang out and to live and all that stuff. And so much, great Montreal Canadiens talk. And it's going to continue, by the way, because the expansion draft is around the corner. The amateur draft is around the corner. Unrestricted free agency and all that stuff is around the corner. And next thing you know, within a blink of an eye, it's going to be, exhibition season for next season. And if all goes well, we're going to have a normal National Hockey League season. I guess even though Montrealers and Canadiens fans didn't get the result that they want, I guess if you look at, one of the bright spots was that in a building where the Stanley Cup was handed out in Game 5 in Tampa, the building was absolutely full with fans. It seemed normal. Commissioner Gary Bettman talked about that. And it's probably one of the only things that he said tonight that I thought was okay. Because is it me, or does he not congratulate the losing team and give them kudos for making it to the final? I believe he's done that. And unless I missed something, which I don't think I did, he didn't do it for the Montreal Canadiens. And I don't know. A Canadian team hasn't won the Stanley Cup since 1993. And I don't know. It didn't look like the commissioner was all that disappointed that the Montreal Canadiens didn't win the Stanley Cup. But anyway, that's only he knows and all that stuff. And I just thought it was very disappointing that he didn't acknowledge the Montreal Canadiens, who have been around for over 100 years and who, did what a lot of people didn't think they were able to do this year, and that's make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, they lost, yes, but they lost showing a lot of heart. They battled. They gave what they had. They just lost to a better team. Little Cherry River Hard Seltzer, once again, only 90 calories, natural flavors, no preservatives, available in Quebec grocery stores and the beer store. Hopefully it's going to be a short summer because I can't wait to talk Montreal Canadiens hockey again. Cash, you want to put me in a good mood? Try and make me some money, my man. Money, 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 money.
It's time for Sick Picks, brought to you by MyBookie.
Place your bets on MyBookie. Go to mybookie.ag/thesickpodcast and use code SickPicks for a 50% deposit bonus. Bet, win, get paid. Cash, you saw a lot of value in the Montreal Canadiens in round one. You saw value in round two. You saw value in round three. But once they got to the Stanley Cup final, you said you were staying away.
Yeah, I was. But Tony, I got something for you. You asked me to cheer you up a little bit.
Well, please.
I have a winner for you.
Make me make some money at least. Yes, okay.
I got you. Guys, where am I going? I'm going to my bread and butter, NBA, right away. Game one, my lock of the month, Suns -5.5. I love the play. Bucks in game ones of series have been awful. Suns in game ones of series, these playoffs have been great. I'm going to look at point at a few stats, guys, from game one. Both teams shot about 46, 47% from the field. It's above average for a finals in the playoff finals game, guys. That's well above average. I expect these teams to shoot between 38, 42, 43%, something around there. The total didn't go over by much, guys. The total got to 224, I think it was. We're looking at a 219.5. Take the under, guys. I don't think this shooting is going to be sustainable. The Bucks shot over 50% from three last game. I don't think they're going to do that again, guys. The Suns are going to adjust. Mike Budenholzer, the coach of the Bucks, this guy has been torn on all social media. All talk shows this guy's been getting torn for not being able to defend properly, not being able to adjust mid-series. Watch Mike Budenholzer make an adjustment here, guys. Give me under 219.5. Give me under 113.5 Phoenix Suns team total. I'm on the unders today for this game. There is, however, one prop. I'm going to give you guys a little extra something. Drew Holiday, rough game one. The Bucks need him more than anything. If they want a chance of winning this series, they're going to need Drew Holiday to step up. Give me Drew Holiday, guys. Game two, over 18.5 points. My bookie's got it at 18.5. Get that locked in. One more little pick for you guys for the Euro. It's a little bit of a long shot. I like it. England, Italy. Get me under 1.5 goals at 90 minutes, guys. It's almost a 3 times payout. We're looking at about plus 170. Get me to the window with that, guys. I can see it being 0-0. I can see it maybe being 1-0. Get me on the under 1.5 goals. A little sprinkle, guys, not too much. Maybe a little something.
I could see it being 1-0 too for Italy. Lord knows I cannot take another disappointment. It can't be 2 disappointments for me in like a 4 or 5 day window. All right, Cash. So your play, Drew Holiday over 18.5.
Yeah.
The Suns under the point total. The game in the Suns and the Bucks under the point total. Yeah. You make me some cash, and you'll put a smile on my face for at least a couple of minutes. Thanks, bud.
No problem, guys.
Marinaro, the Sick Podcast. You can listen to us on the iHeartRadio app and follow us on all social media platforms. Until we do this again next time, the Stanley Cup champion, Tampa Bay Lightning, 2 years in a row. Congratulations to them. And to the Montreal Canadiens, who made it back to the final for the first time since 1993, but fell short. Always go Habs, go.